Hi everybody, it's Keren here from tuppencecoloured.co.uk, and thank you very much for joining me today. This is what I've been making today. I have been calling it my Over the Rainbow card, and it is an easel card. So I can just prop it on my mantelpiece or on my table, and I can look at it all day long. And even though it is supposed to be spring at the moment out of my window, it is absolutely pouring down. So yeah, I could do with some rainbows. Don't know about you. So stay with me and I will show you how I made it. Here are the supplies that I'm using today. My card base is a piece of thick whisper white, and it is 11.5 by 4, and I've scored and folded it at 5 3/4. I'm going to put a layer of the Naturally Eclectic DSP onto the front of it, and this is 3 3/4 by 5.5. I've got a piece of whisper white that is 3 3/4, and I'm going to be using that for doing some die cutting out of a bit later on. Now I've already been at these pieces. This is a great project for scrap busting, all right, for using up all your little bits and pieces of card. And to save myself some time later on, I've already gone ahead and done my die cutting. So I have a piece of real red, pumpkin pie, daffodil delight, emerald envy, tempting turquoise, elegant eggplant, and rich raspberry. I've got smoky slate ink that I'm going to be using. I've got the Happiest of Days stamps, and I'm going to be using this one, Happiest of Days to You. I'm going to stamp that with Versamark ink, and I'm going to heat emboss it. This is a mix of gold and silver that I made by accident. Obviously you use gold, silver, whatever you prefer. It doesn't really matter for this particular project. So these are my Rainbow Builders thinglets, and I'm also going to be using the largest of my layering circles framelets. Ahead of time, I've stuck my DSP onto my card base, and I used a liquid adhesive, and I made sure that it had a good coverage, and that's why I did it off camera, because I wanted to give it time for the adhesive to dry properly. So I'm going to work on the inside of my card now, and this is the front of my card, and I'm going to begin by measuring 3 inches from the bottom. So okay, that should give me a line across my card. And this is one of the reasons why I'm working on the reverse of my card, is so that I can either erase this later or I can put a cover sheet over it, okay, and it's not going to show. So I've got the largest of my circle dies, and I'm wondering if that's where I want it actually. I think I'm going to go up a bit. So I'm not going to draw my line at 3 inches after all. I'm going to draw my line at 3.5 inches. Woohoo for me. So let me put that 3.5 inches on the bottom there, and 3.5 inches. Go. There we go. See, this is designing on the fly. Let's have a look how that looks. Okay. So when I put my rainbow on there, yes, that's the way I want it, I think. So I'm going to take my low tack tape, and I'm going to sort of centre my die on there. Okay, now this is where I need to be careful. Let me bring in my my Sizzix cutting platform here. So this is my cut into plate, and I can have that way. Now this is going to be my on top plate, all right, and I'm not going to cover the whole thing as I normally would. I'm just going to line that up with that pencil line, because I only want to cut the half circle shape. Okay, so I'm going to take this over to my Big Shot and I'm going to cut it. And as you can see, it's cut the half circle out, but it's still attached to the card. So now I want to do some scoring, and I'm going to score along that line, which is the 3.5 inch line, and along that line. And now I can fold that back along the crease, and it will pop up onto the front of the card, just like that. And here you are, cleaned up the inside with a sand eraser, one of these. Very useful piece of kit. I heartily recommend them. Okay, so now I'm going to start building the rainbow. So I'm going to slip my silicone mat underneath the circle that I've cut out there to protect the rest of my card. And I'm going to start building my rainbow with liquid adhesive, which I'm hoping is going to come out of the bottle for me. So I'm going to start by putting this little spot at either end, and a bit in the middle. Okay, don't want to overdo it, but I do want to make sure that everything sticks. Because this one is going to go along the edge of the semicircle here. Oops, come on, come back. That's a good piece of card. There you go. Okay, and by putting the silicone mat in there, that means I'm not going to get any of my adhesive where I don't want it. So I'm going to carry on working my way in order. So it's Richard of York gave battle in vain, or Roy G. Biv, depending on where in the world you learned the order of the colours of the rainbow. So the Richard of York one has the advantage of it being historically accurate, because he did give battle in vain and finished up being buried under what eventually became a car park in, I think it was Leicester. So there you go. And I've splushed a bit there, so I shall wipe it down. It dries clear, so don't have to worry too much about that, but all the same, you know, try and keep it as clean as possible. Okay, so just to remind you again of the colours, so I've got real red, pumpkin pie, and I'm not worrying too much about these ends because I'm going to cover them up, so I'm not absolutely killing myself about them being level, because the green is a little bit too far around one way and not far enough around the other way. And do you know what, I'm not going to stress about it. It's a bit of paper, it's not life and death, you know, just move on is what we say. Let's bring my inky binky, my ink cloth, back in again. And last of all, the rich raspberry, which is what we're using for violet. So very, very glad that rich raspberry is not one of the colours that we're losing in the colour refresh. But we are using elegant eggplant, losing elegant eggplant, which makes me unhappy because I like that colour. Okay, so now when I take that away, my rainbow sits nicely on the front of my card when it's closed and pops up nicely when I open it. Did some extra die cutting ahead of time, and I've cut out 3 of the fluffy clouds in Whisper White, and I've stamped and embossed my sentiment, happiest of days to you, onto the bottom of my piece of Whisper White, and then I've cut away this this cloudy edge. Okay, so I want to emphasize them a little bit. So I have smoky slate ink and a little makeup sponge, and oh, shall I find a bit of something just to work on? So I've got an old envelope here. I can just take the extra bits of ink on, because I want these to be nice fluffy clouds. I don't want them to be nasty storm clouds. I got some streaks on there, but we'll come up with a strategy for sorting that out now in just a moment. Okay, so we're going to start off by putting a couple of clouds on the end of my rainbows here. So just to cover up the ends of the rainbow. And which way up have I got that? I'll have that one. Now at the moment they look a little bit symmetrical, but don't worry, because whoops, I didn't want that to happen either. Ooh, it's going everywhere. It's all going wrong. Get the cloth. Okay, good job it dries clear. Did I say that already? I did, didn't I? Okay, now this bit, right, this needs to come over this way a little bit. There we go. That's better. It's more like what I want. And now this piece. And I did think about raising this up on dimensionals, but I don't think that I'm going to. Okay, I'm going to keep this one for inside of the card. How's that looking? Fairly nice and cloudy. Okay. And I was going to put that one in there, but I don't think I will. I think I'll find something else to go in there. So I shall put this one behind my rainbow, just like that. There we go. And I cut some of these clouds out of vellum, and I'm going to pop that one along there. So it is going over the edge of the card, and I am going to put a little bit of liquid adhesive on there, okay, because that's going to be behind my cloud and no one's going to see it from the front. Okay, and another vellum cloud. Pop this one over here. Okay. And I've had a think, and I know at least I think I know what I'm going to put inside the card. So I've got one more vellum cloud, and that is what I'm going to use to cover that streak up. Now, I need to think how to stick this on, and my best bet, I think, is going to be a glue dot. So hold on for me just 1 second while I find the glue dots. Here they are. And I'm going to pop one at that end of the cloud and one at that end of the cloud, and I think that will just about do it. Move that one down. There we go. And there it is. That's the front of my card. finish it off, I've cut a golden sun shape out of some Daffodil Delight, and I've got a mini dimensional on the back of it, and I'm going to put this up into the open position, and I'm going to use that as my stopper, okay, to stop my card from collapsing on the table. And a couple of last finishing touches. I've got some of these iridescent acetate drops, and some of them are raindrop shaped, so I'm going to use some of these. And yes, I know it says happiest, and we don't normally think of rain as being happy, but they're so pretty. And, I'm just going to put a few of them. I'm going to stick a few of them to myself. Just a couple of them. Just here and there. So straight raindrops. You see, this is why come on, here's a good raindrop. There you go. This one does not want to play at all. It wants to stick to me and not to the card, which is naughty. There we go. That's 2. And we need one more, which I hope is going to be better behaved than the rest of them. So where should we put this one? It's got 2 going out there. Let's put that one around about there. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, it just adds a little bit of sparkle. I'm not sure whether or not you can see it. Is that catching the light for you? Yes, there you are. You can just about see it there. And yeah, I think I'm going to call this one finished. So there is my finished Over the Rainbow card. Now, mine stands up at a rather relaxed angle, if I can show you. It's kind of like that. If you wanted it to be a bit more upright, then what you would need to do is bring the rainbow, or bring the fold nearer to the middle of the card there. But for the way it looks when the card is closed, I wanted it to be higher up the card. So that was my design choice. All right, and that was the impact that it had. So that is it for today. Thank you very, very much for joining me. I do hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if so, then I would be absolutely thrilled if you would come back and see me again sometime, because I do post videos twice a week. But for now, once again, thank you for joining me, and I do hope I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.